The Pittsburgh Pirates enter in the final game of the first half of the season with a 40-40 record. What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's having a good day, good morning. Pirates win 11-1, even up the series with the Mariners, and probably more importantly, they even up their season record, 500 at 40-40. Their next game, which will be a day game on Thursday against the Mariners to wrap up the series, will be the 81st game of the season, meaning meaning by the end of Thursday they will be halfway through their season schedule. The MLB season will be officially halfway over, and the All-Star breaks technically kind of like, but they'll be halfway through the season. They'll have played half their games, and they'll be at the worst flirting with 500. So worst case scenario, they're one game under. Best case scenario, they're one game over heading into the second half. Braxton Ashcraft didn't get off to the best of starts. Gave up 3 straight hits to start the game, scored a run. He locked in, though. He only gave up 2 hits in the rest of the game. Strikes out 10 over 6 innings, doesn't walk any. His ERA is down to 3.07. He has a 7-3 record. Carmen Mlodzinski pitched the final 3 innings, picked up his second save of the season. 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, has a 3.57 ERA. The offense. So, this isn't the first time I feel like that Ashcraft is completely shoved and the offense kind of came to play too, and on the same night. I guess ideally you see things kind of like spread out, but I guess you kind of just take the W when you can get the W. Game didn't come without a cost. Spencer Horwitz left the game early. They're calling it a hamstring thing. Esmerlyn Valdez came into the game and went 2 for 3 with a double. His second of the season. Drove in a run. Want to give him a little shout out, or give him some props here with that, and it for someone who's one of the team's top prospects. You would think, he's probably used to playing every day. So this has definitely been an adjustment for him. Last week, I mentioned in the farm report, he only had 4 at bats. 4 at bats in an entire week is probably not the most ideal way to develop it, but I mean, on one side, he's collecting a major league paycheck, so I guess it's hard to argue against that. But I know he's probably a guy that would wants to get in the game, wants to play. The power's so the power's there to where he could potentially make an impact. Kind of going with more of a platoon thing with Tyler Callahan. So the playing time could easily flip to where he's playing quite a bit more if they see a couple more lefties throughout the week, throughout a series. It's just been very right-handed heavy as of late. So big props to him. Big kudos for him for coming off the bench. Can't be easy to come off the bench some nights. You're not expecting to play. You're not expecting to play that early, and especially for someone like Valdez who hasn't had much playing time, hasn't seen much major league pitching recently. He comes through with a couple hits for the Pirates. Ryan O'Hearn went 4 for 5, 3 doubles, 3 RBI. He's his OPS is back up over 800. Brian Reynolds, the OPS is creeping towards 900 now. He's just on a fantastic run right now. Endy Rodriguez, a couple more hits. I talked about him yesterday, how there's some signs that maybe he does regress a little bit, but I But then again, there are some like underlying stuff to where if there is probably some regression, it doesn't hit as hard. He's batting 263 right now, has an 845 OPS. Hit another double. He has 5 doubles on the season. Tyler Callahan had a triple. Just overall, fantastic night for the Pirates. They get Bryce Miller tomorrow, who's missed some time with an injury, but since being back, he's been lights out. He has a 1.58 ERA with 43 strikeouts over 40 innings. Bubba Chandler, he goes for the Pirates. He's kind of been building slowly to where it kind of looks like he's starting to put things together, slowly but surely. And then they'll head into the weekend facing the Cincinnati Reds. The minor league, run through the minors real quick. Spend a couple minutes on AAA. Spencer Horwitz, like I said, left with a hamstring thing. He wasn't the only player in the system to leave a game with an injury. The Indianapolis Indians had had 4 players leave the game early on Wednesday. Tamar Johnson went 0 for 2 with 2 runs, 3 walks, and a stolen base. He took like this big cut on a pitch, and like it looked like he did something to like a leg, to somewhere in his leg. Trainer came out. They talked. They looked. He stayed in. He swung the bat again. So I mean, I guess that's a good sign. He didn't just kind of stand up there and let what happened happens. He eventually walked, and then he was pitched right up for. Man. Ronnie Simon, he collided with the first baseman trying to run out. A ground ball, kind of like rounded the base. I think that's what it looked like. He kind of collided with him. Thomas Harrington was hit in the leg by a comebacker. He was hurt, and you can tell pretty quickly. And then Christian Curtis, was it Derek Diamond opened for him, so Curtis came in the second inning, but he was just a couple innings in, or a couple batters in, and took a line drive to what looked like the elbow, his throwing elbow, and he didn't wait for the trainer to come out. He kind of made he walked around for a second, it looked like, and then he just made a straight line straight to leave. Wasn't really much of a question whether he was going to stay in or not. Harrington comes in to replace him. Like I said, he was hit. So that will definitely be something to monitor, to see if the Pirates need to make shuffle some players up from Altoona or elsewhere to make sure that they got a full roster. But Indianapolis, they're still able to win. Kiner Delgado went 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. He also struck out twice. Nick Simillo, big right-handed power bat, went 2 for 4, 2 runs, 3 RBIs, a double, and a home run. Altoona, they win 8-4. Connor Griffin made a rehab appearance. It sounds like everything went good there. He played 7 innings at shortstop, went 2 for 2, 3 runs scored, 3 RBI, a walk, a triple, home run, and he was also hit by a pitch. Lonnie White Jr., 1 for 3 with his 7th home run of the season. Will Taylor, 1 for 3 with a walk and a stolen base. Greensboro, they win 3-0. Murph Gray, 3 for 4, the double, RBI, and a walk. Dylan Palmer, 3 for 4, 2 runs, a double, stolen base. That was his 30th of the season. He's the first in the system to reach 30 stolen bases. I think like Deuce Gorson is next. He's kind of climbed quickly, especially with Wyatt Sanford being out right now. But Palmer's been it's been a it's been fun to see Dylan Palmer because he, like I said, he missed the end of last year. He only played in the third game. His third pro game, he dislocated his ankle. Didn't get much of an off season because he was trying to rehab. He told me he didn't start swinging the bat in like the cage until like January, so very late start. But he's just kind of hit the ground running. And he's been a very fun, kind of like under the radar prospect to kind of watch. He played center field again, elite speed. Has put together some like 80 grade run times. Great bat to ball skills. Not going to do much for power, but like, I mean, he had a double tonight, and that was just kind of, he blooped the ball into left field, and because it took the left fielder, an extra second to get to it, Palmer is, charging straight out of the batter's box and full speed almost immediately. He's able to hustle his way to pick up an extra base there. Murph Gray, I don't know if there's much more that we can say about Murph. Another double, another multi-hit game, a walk. I think I would imagine the Pirates are looking for some added like swing decision stuff. They want to see maybe the swing decisions improve a little bit more. He still does have a little bit of a chase thing. The contact rate is a little bit lower than maybe you'd expect. I mean, there's a chance that he's just kind of morphed into like a power over hit guy. But then again, right-handed power over hit, right-handed corner bats that are power over hit, those are kind of profiles. But if you kind of get back to some of the contact rates and contact ability and contact quality, I guess there isn't too much about the quality. Then he could kind of get right back on the track. I'd have to imagine he makes it to Altoona at some point this season. It's just kind of a question on when that will be. Cal Robinson, he's a guy I talked about last week in the 10 observations. 6 shutout innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Good fastball slider mix. Higher arm slots. He attacks with the fastball up in the zone, and then kind of puts the slider low, changing the eye levels. Got him for Alika Williams. Big kid, big frame, big body. Kind of interesting, kind of rough start. He's pitching in Greensboro as well, so you know how that goes sometimes. And pitched in, we talk about Greensboro, and it was pointed out that Rome, where they're playing, is like the anti-Greensboro. It has like the lowest park factor in minor league baseball. And, him getting a chance to play in a non-launching pad, and he throws 6 shutout innings. So that's encouraging to see. And then down in Bradenton, they're the only affiliate to lose today. They lose 15-7. Brent Iredale, who got off to a horrible start until he, collided with a Tampa Tarpons player. He goes 3 for 3 with 2 walks and a home run. Eddie Reinders continues his hot June. 2 for 4 with a double, home run, and a walk. Frederick Ovalle, he went 3 for 4 with a double. He's another guy that I've talked about that's kind of interesting. Just bat the ball with some speed and stuff like that. The swing, I don't think is going to allow for much power down the road. But if he can keep getting the bat to ball and like he's adding outfield to like the defensive versatility thing. He's played some second, played some third, now playing some left field. So the more that, the kind of better for. Today, our midseason rankings for the top prospects in the Pirate system. That'll be released today. What is it for the beginning of the season? I did more of like a tiered list, kind of break everything up in tiers. I did a 1 through 30 on this, just try to always trying to change, adjust, and see what fits, what feels right, what's more popular, what what seems to be grabbing people's attention more. So always open to just trying something different. I think for the final list, I'll try some sort of hybrid thing, to where like they're split into tiers and kind of given a numerical order. Um, but if you're a paid subscriber, check that out. If you're not a paid subscriber, go ahead and sign up today. Starting today and for the next week, we're going to be running a 30% sale off a yearly subscription. You have to sign up for a year, but you get 30% off. Get access to our player features, video breakdowns. I'm going to be doing a live Q&A later today to kind of go talk about the list and any other questions that you guys have. So if you are a paid subscriber, that'll be on Thursday as well. So yeah, it breaks down to you pay everything up front, you pay for the year, and it comes out to less than $3 per month. It's $35 for a year while the sale's going on. Been doing at least one paid premium article per week. Most of the time it's been 2 recently. So that's going to be like over 100 at this pace. That's going to be like over 100 paid articles over a span of the year. Great value with that. You get scouting reports on all the top prospects. You get access to the midseason update, to where I kind of update things. It's gonna be separate. I'm gonna have one. Just so that way it's not running completely long. One article is gonna be like the midseason update, where give the top 30 and kind of like an update on how the season's gone, if anything's changed, and then I'll have another one to where I have like the traditional scouting reports and stuff like that. And I'll start working on those actual scouting reports of the new entries as we go on. But Bucks on Deck Substack, daily content on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Check that out. Check out the midseason update. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk about it a little bit more on tomorrow's episode. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time.